What's up, guys? Back at it again here with my buddy Matt Kemp on Passing Under the Yellow. We took our off week a little bit earlier in the season. That's why we were not back at it last week with you at Atlanta. But don't you worry, your favorite two duos here, or no, that didn't make any sense. But your duo of NASCAR topic talkers are here for you. Matt, how you doing?
Hanging in there, how about you?
Fantastic. Couldn't be happier. It's Tuesday evening, and we're finally recording. So it was a long off week for us. Um, couldn't find the time last week. We were adjusting to kind of doing the whole podcast thing. So I'm sure the 17 people that watch this podcast religiously were super disappointed, but no worries, we're back at it here. So with that, we'll kind of recap Atlanta, talk COTA, and then preview Richmond. So we'll jump into that.
All right, so first and foremost, since we kind of missed Atlanta, we'll kind of jump into that a little bit. Our picks, Morgan, you had LaJoy for the Cup race. I had Chris Buescher. Very good pick with LaJoy there. I thought it was a good pick then, so I kind of got to jump on that bandwagon a little bit because that went well for you. Chris Buescher finished 35th, first from last, so that pick was really
Not
good.
good. Not a good one. Not a
Hey,
good
he
one.
was running up front until he wasn't. So
Was until he wasn't.
Atlanta, yeah, that was something else. I don't know. No comment.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it. It sucks that this package on the super speedways really blows. Couldn't pass. A lot of riding. Seemed like whatever line, I thought it was good, decent racing. I mean, we chatted about it briefly that day. When's the last time you saw the last 50 laps of the super speedway race go green? So I mean, I felt like that was a good thing to take away from it. But overall, the whole weekend were the trucks out there. I don't remember. Truck and
Yeah.
Xfinity were
Yep.
out there, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So Austin Hill got his third win of the year out there. That was a wild finish. The Xfinity cars are top to bottom, week in, week out, the best race of every weekend, in my opinion. They didn't disappoint at Atlanta. I thought their package was out there. The drivers were saying it was really uncontrollable. People's handling went away. You kind of tell there's separate packs throughout the race and the Xfinity stuff. Chris Mack's getting his first win of the year in that 19 truck. I felt like he's been good. Even at COTA, he was pretty decent this weekend until he had bad luck. So that's cool for him. Yeah, but like I said, Xfinity top to bottom, best racing. Pretty much every week. Last week, Austin Hill, like I said, got the third win. And then we'll dive into kind of what happened, Xfinity in this week. But Cup Series wasn't too bad last week. I really felt like it was a decent race for the most part. I mean, I feel like I would be more into that type of racing at Atlanta than the old type of racing where you would just hope and pray that there was a car within a second or two of the guy leading the race there. It wasn't that track isn't what it used to be like. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love it if it's a driver. I liked watching it as a fan, but it's not what our audience really looks for anymore. So I think once that track starts to age out, it will become a better facility for fans to go and watch races. I think you kind of already see that because handling and stuff was going away a lot in the Xfinity race. That was only 1 year, so but I didn't hate that. Who won that last week at Atlanta? Freaking Joey.
Joey won it. Yeah.
Yeah. Bet Brad. Yeah, Brad
That's
missed a
what
block
happens when we're a
there.
week behind.
Yeah, I know. And Brad missed a block late. I didn't want to see Joey win, but I was hoping Brad would. I felt like he had one of the better cars, but actually Joey did. He led 139 or 40 laps that day. So
I would definitely say the best car won the race.
yeah, I did, but I wanted to see Brad win. I felt like Brad did a great job of controlling the whole last 50 laps until he did there in the last three-quarters of a lap. So
TJ Majors, they played him spotting for him over the last. That was pretty incredible listening to him. He did a heck of a job.
sure did. Yep.
He almost did as good of a job spotting for him as he did trying to hold you off last night in that
Yep. Couldn't do it
that
though.
Delar
Just
race.
just like in the Delar, just like in real life.
Just couldn't
He
quite make it
lost.
happen.
He lost. TJ, you're a loser. You suck. Just kind of like TJ. So I guess with that, we'll jump into the truck series at COTA this week. Okay, cut there, and then all right. So what really happened? Okay, so early on in that race, Christian Eckes had like the dominant truck. I'm pretty sure Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain were up there. A lot of strategy played into that race, and then I think a late yellow It's pretty much what dictated it. And Zane Smith and his crew pretty much played the strategy perfectly. They just got the most lucky. I think Kyle Busch had the best truck. Ross Chastain was real fast too. Something happened to Ross. But yeah, Zane ended up walking away with that because Kyle restarted like 16th. Still was catching him about 4 or 5 tenths, or 4 or 5 tenths a lap for the last couple of laps. Ran out of laps. I think Kyle had the best truck. You could tell he was pretty pissed off when he didn't win, but
Well, it's
I
pretty
also
interesting that he
I
overrode his
wish he
crew
would have.
chief.
Yeah, well, he said he usually gets screwed in those deals, so I don't blame him.
Sometimes you got to go for it. It was a confident move by him.
If a
It's
caution comes
typical
out, he
Kyle
looks like
Busch.
if a caution comes out there though, he looks like a hero because he's got the
Yeah,
freshest
for
stuff
sure.
and he restarts second. He wins the race by a mile. So,
Yeah,
but
definitely. Another notable thing too from the truck weekend was Alex Bowman, I believe it was, running the truck race. He got a flat tire in qualifying and missed the race. So that was a bummer of a deal for them.
yeah. Well, he was in contention last year with Kyle and Zane. Late in that race last year, I think with 1 or 2 laps to go, and Zane ended up winning. They set a stat this weekend that Zane won his first 2 wins last year for Daytona and COTA, and this year same 2 races. So he had the best truck outside Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch, though. So I mean, he played strategy right. They got the luckiest, but they still had a good truck. So all right, we'll jump over to the Xfinity side. So yeah, like I was saying, I think the Xfinity Series puts on top to bottom best racing in NASCAR every single week. Perfect combination of power, tire, aerodynamics. I don't know, everything that you can pretty much name. I feel like they've got it going on. Allmendinger, not. I mean, we can kind of go through the race, I guess. What happened early on in that race? Pretty much. I mean, there's a bunch of beating and banging. I still don't think Brandon Jones has brought home one clean race car this year. His car was beat to shit at the end of that race, and he came home a solid 18th place. So he's doing fantastic. I'm gonna ride that bandwagon all year. If anyone's a Brandon Jones fan doesn't like it, tweet me, let me know, and we can. I would love to debate you on that. I don't hate him. He just fucking crashes every chance he gets, and he's been in the series so long. He's gonna be a lifetimer in the Xfinity series if he's lucky because he just wrecked so much shit. But other than that, notable finishers in the Xfinity race, anything for you, or anything that particularly happened that you can recall? I know there's a lot of action that happened.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Sheldon Creed. He got turned around there late. Allmendinger made a late dive under him in a corner that it's not really ideal to pass, but I mean you can definitely do
Yeah,
it. He just looked like he locked up just a smidge and just kind of got into him, and Sheldon just slid forever, it seemed like. And
yeah, he did like one
one
of those
time he
slow sideways
yeah,
spins.
it's just the worst for him too, because the whole time you're just sliding, everyone's just going right by. And
Yeah, there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
no, just unfortunate for him, but nobody's surprised that AJ came through with another Xfinity win.
No, that's his 11th. I think that's his 11th road course win out of his 16 career wins that he has in the Xfinity Series. That's freaking nuts. He is probably the best road course racer in NASCAR, I'd have to say right now. Um, Even though that he doesn't get an opportunity to really show it in the Cup Series. I mean, he did a couple years ago and he won an Indy, but uh, he just hasn't seemed to have a great year going in the Cup Series. He seems to be wrecking every race. Seems like I don't know if he wrecked in the Cup race this weekend, but he seemed to wreck in a lot of the Cup races he's been in recently. But anywho, other than the Xfinity stuff there, I thought it was a good race. Yeah, Cole Custer got his best finish of the year. Finally, finished third. My this cannot be this year, right? Yeah, what was Myatt Snyder in that race this weekend?
No, hold on a second. What are you looking at? I'm looking at the result. Are you looking at COTA results?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cole Custer finished, where did he finish? Cole Custer finished 32nd.
What the hell am I looking at?
I don't know what you're looking at, but
Oh,
yeah, no,
2022. What a dumbass.
no, Cole Custer, man, man,
Byron
he's just
finished second.
going,
Yeah,
yeah.
Byron. Yeah, him and Byron had a real good race going on there. I felt like AJ. Longer. I didn't want really William to win, but They had a really good race. They're going back and forth pretty well. What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah, I am really surprised with Cole Custer's performance this year or lack thereof.
Yeah,
Again, and
yeah.
yeah, he's just out to lunch, it seems like.
Riley Herbst, top 10 though. What
Yeah,
up? That streak.
he's stacking pennies with
So you're gonna have to edit the thing I said about Brandon Jones out because he finished 11th.
did he?
Yeah, I'm a jackass. Sorry about that.
Was he all beat up though?
Oh yeah, there's I remember watching the race, watching him run into shit. Carson Hocevar had his debut in the Xfinity Series. He was done after six laps or seven. He had some sort of transmission issue.
Yeah,
Austin Hill actually finished 37th.
37th.
Yeah, he's way in the hell back there.
Yeah, definitely his
Uh,
worst run of the year, but he maintained the points lead for sure. So
yeah, yeah, he's not worried about it. He's gonna be number one seed, probably getting into the playoffs.
actually, Riley
Uh,
Herbst. Yeah, we'll talk about points too in a second, but
yeah. Do you got anything else with the Xfinity Series, Matthew?
I don't think so. I think I summed it up pretty well. I'm sure I missed something else because I was at a car show all day, but yeah, sounds good to me.
All right.
Yeah, so the Cup race was really really eventful. It was the first race without stage cautions in I believe six. What was it? 6 now, 7 years
Something
since
like
we've
that.
had that. But yeah, no, definitely made things really interesting right off the bat, and a lot of green flag racing to start it. Had some really good strategy leading up to the end of that race. It was shaping up to be really exciting, and lo and behold, we get another late caution, and uh, just made. I mean, it made it crazy, and
Yeah.
just kind of the story of the week is lack of respect and guys just driving through each other. So, um, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I saw the. I mean, Reddick had the best car all day. I felt like. Don't know how much of the race you saw, but I felt like Reddick had a really good car. I felt like Byron had a really good car. Um, I'd have loved to see that race play out green. I love that NASCAR decided to go with the all green for the road course. I think that's a great decision. Um, it would have been interesting to see that play out, but it sucks that it didn't. I think I will say in NASCAR's defense here, I don't really have anything to trash NASCAR on because every caution that came out at the end of that race was absolutely the right call as
I would
far
agree.
as should it have been a yellow or not. Any other day of the week, yes. And it's not, I don't think you hold NASCAR responsible for how that race ended. It took them over an hour and a half to run the last, I heard 16 laps, I think. That's ridiculous. And that's three green white checkers. And like I saw on the Dale Jr. download, he's like, if I'm a fan and I know I'm getting at least one attempt at an overtime, I'm happy with that. Well, that's just so easy for you to say. That's a biased opinion, first of all. But I also think the reason we went to unlimited because at one point we did have the limit at one, and then it went to three, and we still couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't know. I think it's a fine rule. It can be unlimited, but also it could be preventable. If we go to we don't have these issues at Sonoma. We don't have these issues at Watkins Glen. What I'm noticing is we've got them at the places like COTA, that is not a NASCAR track. It's an IndyCar track. That's an F1 track. We have it at a place, the Roval. That's not even a real freaking road course. We have it at places that aren't real racetracks for NASCAR. These natural road courses, Sonoma. And I know COTA is a natural road course, but it's not a track NASCAR should be racing at, in my opinion. Comparatively to what that facility was built for, I don't think that is you got 35 cars going into a 45-degree corner. What do you think is going to happen? And the track is 12 lanes wide. What do you think is going to happen there? It's going to happen. Shit's going to happen. It's not IndyCar where if they go in there and they touch, they go flying over each other's cars and wreck half the field because if a June bug touches those cars, the fucking right front blows off of them. So I don't know. I like the fact that they can kind of rub and hit, but it's just guys. I do agree it's lack of respect. It's coming from a bunch of young guys, and I think Ryan Priest said it best. It's guys that have never paid their way up. never have to work on shit, don't have to worry about damage, and they just drive through shit, you know. And I don't know if you listen to any of Denny Hamlin's podcast, but he calls out every one of the idiots. It's like Austin Cindric, right? Ross Chastain. I think he called out Kevin Harvick, but at least two of those guys have been known to drive like douchebags. Well, Ross, and I think Cindric has been known to, because he's been handed his career as far as never having really worked for it, you know. So that's just my opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm glad the best car won the race. You know, I'm happy to see Kyle get up there. It's wild with on the first green white checkered, Ross Chastain was 28th and he finished fourth. That's
Pretty
pretty
wild.
insane. But when you use everybody as a fucking snowplow to get through the first corner, that's what happens. You know, he just dives to the bottom, drives it in 10 feet deeper, and uses three cars and elbow straight. And he, you know, I mean, you can see the replay; it's just ridiculous. But other than that, you know, Busher top 10, Gibbs top 10, Ty Gilliland, LaJoy 11th. He's been running well. My pick for the
Every
race
week.
was McDowell. He finished 12th. He spun out late, but I was punching my dingle because I thought he was done. But then there's like two more green white checkers and he had a chance. Larson didn't have a very good day. I don't even know how they got him back out there to 14th. He had a totaling broken the rear end there way late in that
Yeah,
race.
all those he went 2 laps down and all those green white
Cautions up.
checkers. Yeah, he got
God,
back on the lead lap, passed a bunch of people and got 14th.
that's
So
crazy.
it's
That's
a heck of a
crazy.
day.
Yeah.
Heck of a day. Good work though.
Jensen Button, his comments after the race were interesting. He said it was unbelievable. He gave a lot of props to it, but he just said at some point, at certain points, it got silly because all they were doing is fucking running into each other.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
true.
not a
Well,
great. That's not a
yeah, well,
great look.
I think the that late caution is what caused all those comments, truthfully. I think
Oh, it wouldn't have
if it
been.
would have stayed
Yeah.
green, yeah, it would have just been, oh yeah, it was a great race, we had a great day. But yeah, those late restarts, yeah, they were something else.
Yep. Yep.
Just a lot of lack of respect. I think a lot of what Kyle Busch was getting at, and a lot of guys, even Ryan Preece has kind of been saying the same thing. I mean, Preece, he's mad for more than one reason. I mean, he's just had a terrible season, terrible luck every single week.
Every week. Even
Um,
Atlanta, he ran 7 cylinders for over 200 laps. It's got to be
yeah,
fucking miserable.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
off myself there. Yeah. So, um, yeah. Other than that, I don't have any much else on the finishing order. Other than your boy Jimmy, terrible luck on lap 2 there, getting kind of nothing he could do. A
Yeah,
couple guys there had
picking
bad
up right
luck.
where he left off when he left in 2019, just involved in everything and anything for no reason, just
Yeah.
happens to be there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just unfortunate for him. Hate it that he didn't
Didn't
even
even
get to
have a
make a lap.
chance. Yeah.
Didn't even
Didn't
get to
even
make
have
a
a
lap.
chance. Didn't have
So,
a chance. Yeah. But, uh,
yeah,
yeah.
something else too from the weekend, the Road Ringers. Jordan Taylor, you already mentioned Jensen Button.
Yeah.
Kimi Räikkönen, I know Denny was talking about how Kimi was at the airport talking about how how dumb it was, and you're just getting playing bumper cars basically. So obviously he was pretty upset about it. I hope that doesn't deter him from coming back. I hope he'll come back and run a.
I hope it. I think they will. I think a guy like that and Jensen will want to come back because they know
Yeah, and
the
hopefully.
more they do it, they probably will want to do it as a racer. I feel like that's what you want to do. You know,
Yeah,
you're like,
absolutely. Well, and I mean, who knows though? Because if you feel like you're just gonna get drove through, then it's no fun. So, especially for someone like them who has nothing to gain, nothing to lose, then it's like, whatever.
yeah.
They just
You know,
won.
I feel like
You know.
that's how everyone drives out there, anyways. Like they don't have anything to lose because it's drive through, anyways. But
For sure.
um, I guess what we could touch on near the end here is the Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman confrontation at the end of the race that seemed to draw a lot of attention. So that second to last caution, or I think it was the last caution, basically what had happened was Ross Chastain got on the bumper of the 48 and used him as a snow plow, who then ran into Suarez, who is Chastain's teammate, and it destroyed Suarez.
Suarez, yeah.
And
And
then there's
to
a
be fair, to Ross, he was getting pushed from Briscoe too, and I'm a Briscoe fan, but he was definitely
yeah, but it
aggressive
looked
on
like
Ross.
Briscoe
But
got off of him a
yeah,
little bit though. Briscoe got off him. It didn't look like Ross ever tried to get off 48. That's the
right.
difference. You can say that you know, Briscoe might have initiated it, but those brakes are so damn good in those cars right now. There's no reason that Ross could say he didn't drive through. He knew what he was doing, dude. That's fucking Ross. He's dirty motherfucker. Anyways, um, Suarez hunts him down from wherever he finished. He finished way in the back.
Well, he was just mad at Bowman because he thought Bowman drove through him, so he went and drove through Chastain just so he could get to Bowman, not really
Yeah,
thinking about Chastain. At least it didn't seem like. So then he went and bumped him on pit lane, and obviously the officials right there.
yeah. Suarez ended up finishing 27th, and in the scheme of things, that's like a I don't know how long the distance was between when the leader crossed the line and Suarez, but Suarez chases down Bowman, catches him as they're entering pit road, drives through Chastain, and then goes up and smashes the ass into Bowman 3 or 4 times. Bowman locks him up. They go up. Bowman gets out and explains, "Hey, it's your asshole teammate that did this, buddy, not me." And Suarez turns right around, goes and starts feeding it to Ross. What's going on? And I mean, what did you take away from the video of that? Because it seemed like Suarez pretty angry about it.
Yeah, well, and I thought
I
it was
don't
more
blame him.
interesting. Yeah, well, I don't either, but I don't think that was the most surprising part. The most surprising part to me was Chastain in his interview basically making the comment that he's always mad at him, which I always, I kind of noticed last year, that Ross kind of, raced Daniel the same as he races everyone else, which is good. It's fair.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I
at the
agree.
same time, I guess if Daniel's always mad at him, I mean, he kind of backed off that comment. He's like, oh, I don't know, he's not really always mad. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, there's some truth to it, I suppose. So,
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably we only know 5% of the whole iceberg in that
100%.
situation, probably, but I'm here for it. I mean, shit. I mean, it's funny too because they both just got signed long-term deals, so neither of them are going anywhere.
Yeah,
So
they're
figure
gonna
it
have to
out.
work it out.
If that's the worst thing, but I mean, I feel like I've never really seen Suarez race Chastain any type of way. It's always kind of one way. Ross being super aggressive, which is great, but I don't know. I think the more people that are mad at each other every week, that's what I come for. Drama,
Yeah.
excitement, chocolate Myers, baby.
Justin Marks better bring out the milk and cookies. Get it figured out.
Yeah, or don't figure it out. I don't give a damn. But uh, other than that, I like to see Kyle Busch up there running well. Happy for him. Hope he keeps tearing it up. Happy for 2311. I was. I will say it almost choked me up hearing Kurt Busch's comments at the end of that race. That was like sad. I hate that. Like
Yeah.
out of nowhere, I wasn't expecting that. It made me
Oh
almost
yeah, that
cry.
was
That
rough.
was that was rough, man. I felt for him there. That was. I just put myself in that situation. And I'm like, damn, that is made me almost start crying. I'm like, damn, sad.
Yeah, you can feel it, man.
Yeah, I hate it for Kurt.
Hopefully, they were talking about him going to the doctor this week or something and getting an update. So hopefully they get some good news and gets to get back in a car pretty soon because you can tell he really wants to be there.
Yeah, I want him out there too. I think he's good for the sport. He does a lot of good all the way around. So I mean, be great to see him back some point this year. A couple good races where he'd run well. I could see him jumping right in the car and running well competitive too. Wouldn't be surprised. So
Yeah, 100%. And two, Denny Hamlin was talking about him this week on his podcast and just kind of said,
yeah,
he was probably getting the pole on that lap at Pocono, so he really went out on top. So,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
hopefully him talking like that doesn't mean, Kurt's done for good,
right.
but you know, if he is, then he's probably right that he went out on top. But at the same time, hopefully he's not. Hopefully he gets to come back soon.
Yep, I agree. So, um, with that, is there anything else you'd like to add to COTA?
Props to Jordan Taylor jumping in that car. I mean, he's in a really
Yeah, that's
good car, but
impressive.
heck of a qualifying effort.
Yeah.
Best starting position for someone in their first start ever since 1999, I believe.
Oh, I believe it. That's
Pretty awesome.
impressive. That's almost. I'd feel bad if I was anyone that was in equally less equipment and didn't qualify as good as. I mean, that's impressive right there. That's some shit. So
Yeah,
good
stellar.
on Jordan Taylor. All right, so we can just do picks, I guess. Call it a day. Get in
Yeah,
and out.
move on to Richmond. What are you expecting from Richmond?
Richmond. I don't know. I will say the package at the road courses. I felt like it was improved. A lot more passing, a lot more racing. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, gun to my head, the last time I saw a decent race at Richmond. Could you?
Last year, actually. I
What?
really thought
One Harvick one?
when Harvick and Chris Buescher was tracking him down, I thought there was a lot of
The
comers and
whole the whole
goers.
the whole race, the whole race.
I don't know. I enjoyed last year's personally, but I mean,
Before that, all right, don't count that one.
there's certain ones.
I guess it's each is their own, but
Yeah,
a
exactly.
good Richmond race where I'm like, man, that was a good race. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't set my expectations super high for Richmond. Is it a day? I
I'd say
think it's
that's
a day.
fair.
It's a day race, right? I think it's on Sunday.
Either they did. I thought they switched them both tonight. They might have switched them both today. I can't remember. Last year was during the
I
day,
don't
wasn't it?
remember. I think it's
For
during the
sure.
day, but I know they run this weekend and then they're off and then they start back up at Dirt Bristol, Bristol Dirt.
Right on.
So they're off after Richmond, but I don't have very high expectations for Richmond.
Kind of wish we could carry the rule over from last week for
What's
no
that?
stage cautions. Bring that to Richmond. I think that would make some.
It'd be interesting. I think half the field will go a lap down. I bet all but 10 cars will go a lap down probably.
To me, that's all right.
Oh,
And I
I don't
mean,
mind it.
it only takes
Fans would
two
hate it.
cars. Only takes two cars to have a good race.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
totally. I
if
agree, but
someone's
I think the
checked out,
fans
but
would be up in arms. Can you imagine if that race goes green from like lap 1 to 320? Dude, there'd be 6 cars on the lead lap, and Kyle Larson would be gone. Whoever. Hendrick Hart's gonna win probably, but I don't know. I think the Toyotas are usually really, really fast at
yeah,
Richmond. They usually are really fast there, so we'll see what happens.
yeah, Fords have been good there. So I guess on that note, who you picking?
I want Denny Hamlin, hometown boy. He won there. He won this race last year.
Was it this one he won?
Harvick won back to
Yeah,
back when he won Michigan and
that's right.
Richmond.
It's true.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's right. Because
Hamlin won this race last
at
year.
this point last year, the next gen was still fairly new. I mean, this was like the first real road course or real short track or
Yeah, and the package sucked. Yeah, no one
mile.
could
Yeah,
pass.
I guess other
Well, actually,
teams.
I'm changing. I'll take Truex. I'll take Truex.
All right, it's bold.
Martin Truex,
He's due.
freshly divorced, ready to kick ass and keep all of his money.
Damn, son. All
I'm
right,
just kidding.
we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna go with a Ford. I know we were talking about Toyotas a bit ago, but when I said Fords are fast, I meant that. I I'm I want to go with Harvick.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Harvick. I'm gonna
I was
take.
gonna say I could see you going and logically with Chase Briscoe because this is somewhat similar of a track to Phoenix, a
Yeah, he
little
was
kind of
okay.
similar.
He was okay last year. I just I don't know. I don't feel him here. I feel like Richmond's more of a. I think experience plays a big part at Richmond, and
Yeah,
experienced guys have a really big advantage there. So hence why Denny Hamlin and Harvick won last year's races, in my opinion.
it's a longevity race, kind of. You got to be there, take care
I
of
don't know.
shit.
Those RFK cars have been really good. It's not going to take much for them to hit on something
God,
and
I
be
hope
right
they do.
there.
I hope they win 5 races in the
Busher got
championship.
so close to this race last year. Hopefully he runs great again. Brad has been running fantastic on
Yeah,
short tracks.
yep.
I think he's going to be somebody to watch out for, but I'm going to take Harvick again. I want him to win one.
Yeah, I want him to
I
win
think
multiple. I'd be fine with him winning the championship, everything this year.
that'd be awesome. Yeah. But I
So,
think he'll have a good run this year, this weekend.
all right. And just to revert, who are our picks back at Atlanta for our fans that are watching?
If we have to go over that again, I guess.
Yeah, sorry. I think I picked LaJoy.
LaJoy, yeah, you got
And
fourth. And I picked
okay.
Chris Busher, who finished
Oh yeah, okay,
35th.
sorry. Just reminding the fans there. Okay,
Yeah,
we picked
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Truex and Harvick for Richmond. So well Matt, it's been a heck of a show with you. Glad we were able to get back to our fans this week. What any
Yep.
final thoughts? Any little anything to shoot to here, Matt?
Yeah, I picked Tyler Reddick. We just didn't do picks. I picked Tyler Reddick at COTA, so I think I should get that point.
Oh, I picked
McDowell, you already mentioned it.
not in this though. I didn't pick McDowell. I picked that him in a money league. And I don't even know if the pick counted. So we'll see. But
Well,
part of
oh
it.
well.
Yes. Well. All right. Should we end it?
Yeah, I guess
All
that's good.
right. Yeah, it's been a good day. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Passing Under the Yellow with yours truly, Morgan Baird, and Matthew Kemp. We'll see you next week.
Probably.